We'll welcome in Matt Rhule, head coach extraordinaire in Nebraska. Adam Carricker here. Coach, I got to ask you.
Sir.
I was just saying before, I got to give you a lot of credit, man, just because as we look out on the field here.
That's a good one.
How the heck do you even sit still watching 18, or now they're like 25 years old, but it used to be 18 to 22 years old, patiently and just hope and pray? Tell me the process of hoping and praying that they actually just walk and chew gum and just run to the right. I mean, it's just because when you turn around and see the view, it's what, 26 yards or whatever it is, and you're sitting there like, okay, we're just running inside zone. We ran it 50 million times.
Right.
Please just take us.
Please be thinking about the play and not thinking about what you're doing after the game.
Right.
What happened 2 plays ago? No, that's my world, man.
Yeah,
that's my world.
Oh man.
And obviously the world of college football has changed and continue to change. Obviously from when you started at Temple, Baylor, obviously coming up. What's your view on it? And I know you guys have attacked it with the versus not reacting, just being active in it. What's your thought about it and how you guys go about your process? Because I think Nebraska's done a really good job of being, okay with it, but then also making it a positive impact on your program.
Yeah, I think the first thing is like your view might change. I first got in here, I was like, I'm going to take this approach to transfers. And then all of a sudden it's like, wait a minute, if I want to keep up, I got to do this now. So I think you have to be really, really malleable. Like you got to change nonstop based upon all the new information. Like if all of a sudden next year they say our roster is 105, I got 150 guys.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to bring in 20 more in recruiting class. So, so and you know what? No one really cares. Like I can sit there and complain, but at the end of the day, hey, Matt, just get to 105.
Yeah.
So I have to figure out the best way to do it while still being able to sleep with myself at night. Like, man, I didn't do wrong by these kids. So, NIL, like sometimes people will tell me they don't believe in NIL. I'm like, well, there's no belief anymore. It's there. And if you want to win, we have to do it. Like, we're good at it. I'm so grateful to 1890, so grateful to the Pede family. Like we wouldn't even be alive right now if they hadn't done what they've done. Mm-hmm. But we still have a long way to go to catch these other guys. I'm saying like people that are playing the. Sorry, fellas, you can tell I don't do this very often. People playing that college football game right now, and I tell them all like, hey, if you didn't have this, if you have to play somebody, you don't have the same roster that someone else has, you'd be like, what's going on? So. Yeah. We need NIL. We need we need to take advantage of all the things that are here. And so it's not time really for philosophy. It's really time for like action and getting to work, man. So we've done a good job, but we got to do a better job in the coming years. It's going to get harder.
As we, I've seen a couple of players around town, and you see them all the time. Obviously, we've all decided, especially me and AG, we're just talking about the quiet confidence that they have, and from the work. What have you seen as the biggest difference from year 1 to year 2? Just in your whole program, but more importantly, the guys you have in your roster.
I think you guys just said it. Like they're walking around like you know what a good team looks like. Right. You know what a good player looks like. He doesn't have to. He doesn't have to say too much. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a great line in a Ghetto Boy song where he says like I don't. He's like real gangsters don't say much. Like if you know you're good, I'm paraphrasing that.
Yeah.
But if you know you're good, but they know they're good from the like you said it from the work they've done. My question to them or my challenge in training camp is going to be like, what's the look in your eye going to be with 5 minutes left and it's a 1-score game? Because that's going to happen about 10 times this year. And are you going to be like, oh, no, here we go again? Or are you going to be like, hey, I wasn't here in 2021. I don't want to hear about 2022. I'm here right now. And that's the challenge for us. And so as a staff, when we get there this fall, our players, they're really good. They're really good young men. They love the fans. Yeah. They want to win so badly. But sometimes when you want to win so much, you play a little scared.
Right.
You got to go out there and want to just dominate the guy in front of you and see what happens. And so that's the change. But I do love the way they've worked. They've worked hard. They look better. They look good. I'm expecting them to be a good team.
Yeah. So how do you, because the 1-score games, the 1-score losses, the close games, it's been a bugaboo in recent years, not breaking any news to you there. What's the biggest secret to getting over that hurdle, getting that first win, which is always the toughest one in a close game, and then things kind of snowball to you? What's your biggest message to the players about getting over that hurdle?
So I think there's 2 things for me. I think number one, we started this year talking about like, hey, chasing 3, like, because I want them to understand it's not this mountain. Mm-hmm. It's literally like Tommy picked the ball off against Iowa and the other corner turned and blocked and he held the guy. And if he doesn't hold him, we have the ball on the 37-yard line. Maybe we get one first down, we kick a field goal. We turn the ball over, a guy's wide open. We just throw the ball to the wrong guy, turn the ball over, and then the game's going to go to overtime, and 3 guys miss a tackle and they kick a field goal. It's just one play.
Little things.
And so having them understand, hey, this is why we do all this. I think that's one. I think it's practicing it. Like from day one, like we're going to put the ball down. There's 5 minutes left in the game. There's 2 minutes left in the game. And we've always done it. We just have to do it more and do it better. And then I think the third thing, and I really believe this, Adam, with all my heart, I have to want to get into those games. Like sometimes you get to a game, you're like, man, I hope we beat these guys by 50. And we all want to get to that point. But I want to see this team go play UTEP and have it be a 3-point score with 4 minutes left. Everyone might be mad, like, why is it a 3-point game against UTEP? I'll be happy because I want our guys to finally go win a close game. And once we win a close game, we'll win 2, then we'll win 3. And that's the progression. But for me, I can't want to avoid the close games. I have to want to get into there. And when it gets in there, I need to be excited because the guys will feed off of me. They will feed off the position coaches. You guys have been there before.
Right.
I've been there before. They haven't necessarily been there for very long. So they need to feed off the older guys.
Yeah, and Coach, you talk about that team culture. So since you got there till now, what's that look like? What's that transformed to now from the coaching? Because I've watched spring ball practices. I watched the way the coaches and yourself talk to players running running on the field and off the field in the weight room. How's that changed since then to now?
Yeah, I think when I got there, and I don't want to take any shots because I think guys did a lot of jobs, so I'm not there. But I think like the thing that we've tried to do is just get them to understand like. I can only be me if you be you, and you can only be. It's an African proverb called Ubuntu, and we put it up sometimes and go through it. Like in today's day and age, where guys are transferring, a lot of times it's like, well, what am I going to get out of this?
Right.
And we want them to be happy when their teammate's successful. We also want them to understand I can't get what I want if you don't help me, and you can't get it if I don't help you. So this idea of like brotherhood, of iron sharpening iron, of being your brother's keeper. It's why we eat together. It's why I won't let them walk around with headphones in the building like the old school rules. No, I'm trying to actually get you to talk.
Yeah.
Like sit down and talk. And it's why the locker room's alphabetical. Now the seniors have their own area, but it's alphabetical. It's not by number because I don't want you sitting by your position only.
Right.
So just trying to do all these things to build connections. Because back in the day when I was in the locker room at Penn State in 1993, I didn't have a cell phone. So I just was going to sit there and talk to you.
Yeah,
well, now they can just be somewhere else all the time. So I think having them be around each other has allowed them to start to push each other. I'm going to now see guys be like, hey, pick it up. Get up here with me. Yep. And it's not demeaning. It's demanding of each other. And if we have that, that's what you guys had.
Right.
Like every great Husker football player I talk to, it's like this culture of like accountability. And I think we're starting to get headed in that direction.
Good. Man, we know you didn't have a cell phone, but the biggest question, did you have a pager? Because, Matt, we had pagers.
I absolutely had a pager.
That's my man.
And I was one of the first guys at Penn State to get a cell phone. I remember taking it out, and I had my new little phone, and I got clowned. They were like, who do you think you are?
Yeah.
I put that thing home. I
thought, was it one of those giant bag phones?
Yeah, the bag.
It was the one that had the battery like that.
Yeah,
thing on the back.
Yeah.
Like, I thought I was the guy.
Oh man!
One thing I think is that kind of gets overlooked. I always say that a lot of times fans or the people that evaluate the program always say, the easy thing is it's the offensive line. I think it's steadily improved. Talk about the maturation of them as a group, Coach Donnie or all of them all together, because quietly, like the rest of the team, they've systematically and strategically gotten better. And obviously, when you watch the spring game, they look better too.
Yeah, I think they've done a great job. And even last season, I think I don't know, we finished in the league 3rd or 4th in rushing. But you can't do that if your offensive line's not blocking the right guys or moving people. What I'll say is we did that with probably a historically poor passing game. And so if that they can't really throw it too much, then you're going to blitz, you're going to load the box. So we were able to run now sometimes we ran the quarterback, but we were able to run the ball into those difficult boxes. Like this year, with the skill we have outside, with the 3 quarterbacks that we have, I expect us to be able to throw the ball when they think we're going to run it, run the ball when they think we're going to go throw it. Like even our sacks last year, it's 3rd and 12. They know we're dropping back.
Right.
The ends are 9 feet wide. They're coming off the edge. Like we'll have a chance to be more balanced, which I think will show the offensive line's ability even more. But And we got a lot of starts on that O-line. We got a lot of guys who played a lot of football, and they're bigger, they're stronger. Christian's done a great job with their weights.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be one of the leaders of our team.
I wanted to ask you because when you were at Baylor, people always ask about being physical. I think correct me if I'm wrong, from a defensive perspective, I felt like you guys offensively did a really cool thing where you guys were physical out there on the perimeter. And whether you're throwing, I call it smoke screens, now routes, but you had like big tight ends, kind of H-backs that could move, and you guys used to pound people. Talk about that, because people always think of being physical, like just line up, Dallas Cowboys, Emmitt Smith, and just bowl over people. But I think there's a different way you can be physical, especially in this day and age of college football. If you're physical out in the perimeter, it doesn't matter if you got Warren Sapp in the middle, because now Jay Foreman's got to deal with the Lyndon Myers and all them. Yeah. Talk about that.
Yeah, no, I think one of the terms we use in our program is dominant contact.
Right.
And we don't want to accept contact. We want dominant contact, and we want it really at every position. So whether you're a corner tackling, you're a 3 technique, getting off and knocking, obviously guys blocking, but on the perimeter, we expect our receivers to play with dominant contact. And so, Ron still shows every year the video of like the receivers blocking in 19 whatever, and it's like, man, it's impressive. Now the rules were a little different,
yeah.
But you know what? Like, we want that. I want that corner that's got to cover us on 3rd and 7 to have had a hard day getting blocked by a 220-pound. We have receivers that could be tight, like or Jamal Banks. Those guys are big men, and I want them to impose their will physically on the opponent. So that allowed for a lot of one-on-ones, and you're able to spread the field but still be physical. That's a great thing.
Yeah.
I got one last question. D-line, Nash, Ty, everybody's coming back, high expectations. So 2 parts. How is Nash doing with putting healthy weight back on, because he lost it for wrestling? Part 2, how good can that D-line be this year?
I think they can be as good as anyone in the country. What we have is we have depth. I truly believe we could get down to guys that are running with the 3s and 4s and still play winning football.
Nice.
And I think Nash is doing a great job coming back. I think if anything, like, I didn't want him at 338. I wanted him at 310 to 315.
Yeah.
Terrence does a great job with him. Jamari's 250, 255 now. He looks great. MJ Sherman, he's kind of that Jack Backer, but really he's a D lineman, right?
Yeah.
So he's done a great job. Prince Will's healthy and back. So I think you start going down. Like, Elijah Judy's probably one of our best nickel pass rushers. When Elijah's in the game, he can be dominant. So I think we can get 3 or 4 depth strings down and still be strong. And the reason why that matters is we don't have to have Nash and Ty play 65,
Stay fresh, rotate.
And, bro, we have a dream of playing January 20th. We have a dream of playing in the national championship game someday. That's 16 games. And you can't have your D-line playing 80 snaps a game for the first. It's just not going to work, and play at the level you want. So we have some depth, and I'm excited about it.
Awesome.
All right. Well, we got to go break. Keith came in and we're breaking, man. Appreciate you stopping.
Thanks,
Coach. Many stops today.
I see you rocking the Firethorn hat. I love it.
Yeah. Well, you see this right here. It's worn out, and Firethorn's been wearing me out. But anyway, as we know, and that's a shot at Firethorn.
Yeah, cut the rough.
Yeah, cut the rough. Anyways, thanks, Matt. Good luck
Appreciate
today.
it, Coach.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.